Alright everyone, so after the Splatoon 3 Direct, I decided to ask you guys one final time for your Splatoon 3 spicy hot takes, and we're gonna go over my favorite one of them and give my opinion on them. So if you enjoy this, be sure to subscribe, and let's get started. Okay, so Niga says the Splatana Wiper should have been the flagship weapon instead of the Tri-Stringer. So basically, do we think katanas or bows are better? Now, this is going to be a divisive one. I'm curious to hear what you guys think, but personally, I kind of have to agree here, and I think the Splatana Wiper, I think the whole katana class in general looks way cooler. Did you guys see the hype on the Splatana Stamper? That design was so cool. Imagine if that was the first weapon we saw. I think it would have been better. I'm going to be honest. I think it's better. Rank dropping everything might not work as great because if someone who's reached S plus 50 stopped playing and came back after a year, they'll be in B rank, etc. So, this is why rank decay is a good thing for the quick TLDR. So, if you've ever seen a pro level match in, say, 2018 and compare it to 2022, they will look completely differently. Even if it's teams of the same players at the same highest level, because the scene progresses. And the same happens at all skill levels. C- in 2022 is not the same as C- in 2017. So if you played the game and you're an S plus 50 player in 2022, and you come back in late 2023, you're not in the same rank anyway. So you have to re-earn that, which I think is fair. And on top of that, if you are at that skill level to get that rank, it should be incredibly fast for you to get it back. So rank decays to ensure that if you take a break from the game and you come back, you're not in an inflated rank and you're not boosted because you came back from a break, you've lost some skill level and everyone else has improved. It should put you better to where you actually are. It's not a problem. They should never have announced that they are working on a full-scale DLC this early. Why not? Now look, I get it. There are a lot of Nintendo games that are like rushed and have content afterward, but this is very clearly going to be an Octo expansion type thing where it's a bonus single player. And now that we know the hero mode this time is its own unique thing rather than as copy-paste as Splatoon 2's was, I don't see the problem. Splatoon always has like additional years of extra content. Why should the single player people not have something to look forward to? I don't think that that expansion should suffer because of games like Mario Strikers doing DLC wrong. That's not Splatoon's fault, honestly. Custom kits would make the game way better. Yeah, I agree with that. So I've done an entire video on custom kits versus normal, and I agree by everything I've still said in that video, so I'm not going to reiterate. The more main, sub, and special weapons you have, the less the kit system will work, and the harder it'll be to make more kits, the more we'll have to look at. And we already have things like the UI updated to show subs and specials, so problems that were even mentioned in that video are not a thing anymore. I'm okay with custom kits not being a thing in this game because I think we will get third kits for every weapon, and 15 specials is just enough to where that can work. But by the time we get to like Splatoon 4 and have 20 specials, it's gonna be too much. They need to get rid of that system in the next game. Wave Breaker isn't gonna be that good. The line that tags you is way too thin, it's a 3-shot, and it's gonna be worse at killing people than a splash wall. Okay, so right off the bat, this special is not made to kill people. It is a weird displacement support hybrid. You throw it in an area you want to control so that A, people can't hide there, which is valuable, and B, they're forced to jump, which means their movement's less efficient, and if they're not doing that, then they're taking damage, which I think is incredibly useful. It is certainly very comp dependent. In general, I think teams that have stuff that wants to set up, like Bamboo or Tent, or Charger teams will benefit from it more than a comp that wants to rotate around, but I still think that makes it incredibly useful. I want to get this out of the way. Specials that are not aggressive specials, like the same thing goes for missiles. Like people say just dodge missiles. That's not how those specials work. Tri-Strike isn't bad because you can dodge it. Same for Booyah, same for Killer Whale. Making the move is their job. Including the dab in the Splatoon world is unironically genius because it's a great nautical pun off the fish. Yeah, sure, why not? I'm just gonna be annoyed when we play in a tournament and then there's gonna be some people who are going to dab and think they are the most hilarious people on planet Earth, and then everyone else will also do that. Reef Slider will have more invincibility frames than people think. Well, yeah, this was said before we found out it's invincible during its entire trail, so, Vic, you were right on this one. Entirely correct here. Moving forward. Stick controls should have aim assist. I've tried to play motion controls many times, but they don't feel natural. If they're gonna put stick controls in the game, at least give us something to level out the playing field a little bit. Honestly, I do not think it should be that significant aim assist, but if they're willing to do very small amounts of it, I think it's very important, and I am fine with that. Stick players are at a huge disadvantage, and I don't mind a tiny bit, but it should be nowhere near the level of other shooters. It would have to be very small, if at all, and considering that aim assist causes a lot of debate problems with other shooters, I totally understand why Nintendo doesn't want to put it in the game. I feel like if there was a new ranked mode in the game base launch, people would still call it Splatoon 2.5. Half the Splatoon 2.5 videos can't even get their information correct that they say. And yeah, look, I get the new ranked mode is, like, not great. I wish it was in the game, but it's very clear that time went into, okay, let's give Salmon Run this extra unique wave thing, let's bring in Big Rush, let's do Table Turf War, let's do Lockers, let's do an actual single player. I can tell where the time went. There are new modes in the game, but not a new ranked mode. But ranked and Turf War already has the most modes and content by a landslide. Now, I still think we should get a new ranked mode, but the more I think about it, the more I'm okay with it being DLC. Would it be better if we had gotten it at launch? Absolutely. Does it make it Splatoon 2.5? No. Some nice art. What the fuck is this, bro? What is this? What am I looking on my screen right now? Did they make this? I hope they made this. Or else tell me so I can put your artist credit in the description of the video, but Jesus. They messed up bad by not adding a significant new mode. The majority of all Splatoon 2 owners haven't played the game in 3 years, and they gave them no reason to come back. So, insert all of the new modes and stuff I mentioned before, all the Salmon Run stuff, the new single player, Table Turf War, all that stuff. Now include a bunch of new specials, including some revamped ones and returning ones with changes, along with completely brand new ones for 15, the most we've ever had. New weapons, including 2 brand new classes no one's ever played, a bunch of new and returning stages, replay mode, training room, customization options, new models and animations, Splatfest and Tricolor Turf War. Like, that's just all the stuff at the top of my head, okay? Like, that's all that wasn't in the previous game, dude. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, there's plenty of things to criticize about Splatoon 3, but saying there's no new modes in the game is just flat out wrong. Bamboo is gonna be the worst weapon in the game without damage up. Alright, so here's a hot take and a bit of history for me. Bamboo was good before damage up. It wasn't broken, it wasn't top tier, but it was good. This is one of the few videos I did before content that I actually like and have kept up on the channel. I did a talk about how Bamboo could potentially be the best charger with some buffs before damage up. And I cared about this so much that I got a player who plays Bamboo for my team before MPU came out. Bamboo is incredibly fast, plays great with chip damage, has good pain and mobility. It is very good on specific types of comps and play styles. Even without damage up, that won't change. It'll just make it more kit dependent. Fall Guys can't. That's not a Fall Guy. Okay. I hate to break it to you. This isn't a hot take. Range has been known as a dog weapon that gets carried by Grim Kit for about 5 years now. How do we tell him? Oh my god. Wait, that's actually such a good meme moment. Does he know? He doesn't know, guys. Table turf battles are going to be the least amount of fun I've ever had playing Splatoon. So let me just put this way, okay? Table turf battles is basically a card game version for Splatoon. It's something we have no experience with. And in the direct, I said I didn't really care. And I still kind of don't. But I will give it a shot. And I think for some people it'll be fun. This mode isn't made to appeal to the hardcore Splatoon fans. It's made to be, hey guys, here's a brand new mode. If you like Splatoon but want something entirely differently that barely resembles the series, here you can go. This is Turf War, but a card-type version of it in a 1v1 format. Why don't you give it a try? And I think we aren't going to know how good it is until we try. Considering the 150 plus cards, I think they clearly put a lot of effort into it. They just have to make Sheldon not look like a Gmod character, and it might be fun. We can't really tell until we play it, because we don't have anything to base it off of, unlike pretty much everything else. Skipping the news isn't a big a deal as everyone makes it out to be. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's that big a deal, but it'll be nice. Like, it's a small quality of life thing, but when you play Splatoon 2 for 5 years and every day you have to waste time on the news, I mean, I don't play every day, but you get what I mean, that time adds up. If you're like a dedicated Splatoon fan, you have wasted days going through the news if you played for like the past few years in such a consistent amount. 2 years of updates will be short and not enough. Honestly, I think it depends how jam-packed these updates are. If we don't get stuff like 3 weapon kits for every single one, or a bunch of new weapons and stuff like that, then no. I think it just depends. We're getting updates every 3 months, it's how much can they fit into them. If they do enough and end off the game in a good spot, I think it will be enough. But maybe it won't be. I think that could be correct here, and we might not end up with enough content. That's what happened for Splatoon 2. Ultra Stamp and Booyah got on 5 weapons each, so hopefully we don't have that problem here. But I don't think we will. Because, you know, Splatoon 3, we should get 3 weapon kits. Come on. Shooters will still dominate the meta. Dominate? I don't know. Will they still be the best class? Absolutely. Unless they get over-nerfed, but I don't think Nintendo will do that. Shooters just do too many things too well, and other classes will be able to compete better now from things like the more open maps and different specials. Like, absolutely, the gap will shrink, but I don't think people understand just how big a gap shooters already have. Like, even with all that stuff being taken away, they still just have so many insane things. Mainly in the mobility department. I think if anything matters most, it's the fightable specials, because before, you just ran away from specials, so shooters were better at it. But now, a lot of the other specials are fightable, which means having stuff like a blaster or bucket will be more valuable in team fights, especially more coordinated ones than they were in Splatoon 2. Squid Roll and Surge is another thing I guess I can briefly talk about here while we're on this subject. Like, yes, this helps slower weapons more than faster ones, but for stuff like shooters and dualies, it's like, oh, this is just an extra option. For slower weapons like blasters, they need this option. It helps close the gap, but it doesn't mean, oh wow, shooters just get to strafe around and they can squid roll. Wow, meh, whatever for them. It's, wow, I can keep all my insane mobility, and now I also have a parry option. I get more. I just don't benefit from it as much as other weapons. But that doesn't matter, because you're still really overtuned. So I think shooters will still be good. I think with time, if balancing continues to buff non-shooter weapons, we will eventually get to the point where it's not as much of a problem. But I think for the start of the game, unless if they are very open with buffing non-shooter weapons, I think they'll still be the best class. Alright everyone, that's it. That's the final set of hot takes. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I'll do this again more when Splatoon 3 launches, probably whenever the DLC waves happen, so be sure to subscribe if you want to see more of that. But with that all out of the way, I'll see you guys later.